Hello everybody, Steve Griffiths here, developer of the MTPredictor software program. In today's MTPredictor video, I'd like to look at how the US markets reacted yesterday when Donald Trump cancelled the negotiations for the rescue package for the US economy. But before we get on to looking at some charts, we have to look at our risk disclaimer and remind you that all examples in these videos should be considered as hypothetical. No trades are actually taken. They're just shown for illustration and training purposes only. Remind you there's a risk of loss in trading and investing. Put another way, all professional traders know and understand, but more importantly accept that losses can and will unfold. No matter what trading approach you take, there always will be losing trades. Right, so I want to have a look at a short-term chart of the NQ yesterday, and you can see this is when Trump did his tweet to say that he was pulling out of negotiations for the rescue package for the US economy, and you can see the stock market fell sharply as that announcement. But we'll look at that a bit later in the video, because I want to start by covering this VS buy a bit earlier. For any of you who are new to MTPredictor, I would just want to remind you that MTPredictor is not a black box system. We have automatic setups on our charts. We don't just blindly take these, for example, in the direction of our MTP trend color indicator. We don't do this because basically markets are random half the time. In other words, half the time markets are in a position where you can't get any discernible pattern. In other words, they're random, you shouldn't be doing anything. So how do we decide when markets are non-random? Well, we look to the higher time frame chart. Now I want to show you this for our two setups we had on our NQ chart yesterday. So for this, you go to the higher time frame chart. So for a 3 minute, it would mean going out to a 15 minute. For say a daily, it would mean going out to the weekly. If you're trading Forex, say on a 4-hourly chart, it would mean to go out to perhaps the 8-hour or the daily. So what we do is we project our DP support and resistance areas in advance. So I'll just take the market back earlier to when it made this high here. So this is the whole idea, is we are not looking to react to setups, we're looking to project in advance for areas where we anticipate highs and lows may unfold. So you can see here's our last pivot low. We right mouse click, we do decision point. We're only using our typical area, which is the blue one here. So can you see how this is on the chart in advance before the market even gets there? So if I use trading mode, can you see how the market went down into that level there, where the market then reversed? Just turn trading mode off. So if I come back to the 3 minute chart, we'll see what that looked like here. And you can see if I use trading mode again and come back to the point there, this is what it looked like at the time. So can you see how we had a setup on our shorter term chart at our higher time frame resistance? In other words, the market is doing what we anticipate. It's potentially reversing at our level we projected in advance. So this is a good setup to take. It also comes in with our MTP trend being grey, so in the process of making a reversal, so everything is telling us the same thing. In other words, the picture is becoming clear. So we right mouse click, we do analysis, and this gives us our potential trade. Remember, we use position sizing to keep our initial risk small and under control, so when the losses come through, and they will do, the losses are kept small. If the market gets up to our first target, the profit will be 3.5 times the initial risk. If I scroll forward, you can see that that's indeed what the market did. It went up to the first target there where a profit of 3.5 times the initial risk was available. So that was a nice trade. So what happened a bit later in the day? Well, again, I'll go back to the 15-minute chart, and we do exactly the same as we did before. I'll just use our trading mode to jump back to show you how we project this in advance. Remember, that was our long trade where we took a nice 3.5-hour profit. The market starts to rally. We then take our DP off our higher point there. Now, just for you guys who are looking at this, we're not using our MTP trend on this higher time frame chart, okay? We only use that on the time frame we're actually looking to take our trades on. So just take the maximum off. Remember, we're just looking at our higher time frame resistance area, our typical area. So this is on the chart in advance. Can you see way before the market even gets there, this is there anticipating a potential resistance area. If I turn the trading mode off, you can see that's indeed what happened. The market went up, reversed, made the high of the day. They're absolutely perfectly at that level. But let's now go down to the shorter time frame chart and see what that looked like at the time. Again, I'll use our training mode. I'll go back and I'll jump into, whoops, one bar back, and there it is. So can you see how we had a short-term sell at our higher time frame resistance? There it is there. Our MTP trend had gone from blue, which it was to show that the large degree trend was up as the market was rallying all the way up into here. It's turned grey. Do you see that? That bar is grey to say that we're in the process of making a reversal. So this shows you that the market was an area of where a high may be coming in and a short-term trade, sort of short-term sell signal was projected. So exactly the opposite as we had back here. You can see that exactly the opposite as we had back here. If you right mouse click over the red sell bar, we do analysis, and this time it gave us a lovely potential trade. Again, the position size and taking care of our initial risk. So if that was a losing trade, remember losses can and will and do unfold no matter what trading approach you take. The loss would have been kept small at potentially 1R. But in this case, the profit, if the market got down there, was 14.7. Can I call that 14.5, 15, 15R, just to keep the maths easy? So let's see what happened. The very next bar, as that tweet came in, the market started to tank down very, very sharply. And if I turn training mode off, you can see the market did indeed get down to the first target there. You see literally within a few bars, bang, 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 straight down there, where an absolutely massive profit of 14.5 times the initial risk was available. So that turned an initial risk of $240 into $3,500. So this is what MTPredictor is all about. It's about trying to anticipate in advance areas of where the markets are likely to make reversals. If the pattern is not clear, we stand aside and wait till it is. If the market does make reversals at those anticipated or projected levels, we deem that the picture's clear and the market is in a position where we can look to take a trade. We then look for trades where the initial risk is kept small, and we use position sizing to achieve that. So when the losses come through, the losses are small, but we look to have trades that are large as a result of those trade setups, but not just in dollars, but in risk reward. In other words, this trade here, the profit was 14.5 times the initial risk. So in other words, you could have made 14 losing trades and still be up. That's the whole idea of MTPredictor. It's not just anticipating these levels, but it's having trades that when the trades go right, the profits are much, much larger than the losses. When the trades go wrong, and they will do, there always will be losing trades, the losses are kept small. So as you can see, a very, very good day for MTPredictor yesterday on the NQ with a lovely VS buy setup there coming in right at high time frame support, which caught that low beautifully as the market rallied up. But then the best one of the day was this VS sell setup here, again at higher time frame DP resistance. Remember, that was anticipated in advance when Trump made his tweet to stop negotiations on the rescue package or the support package, and that made the markets tanked. But you were actually there with the sell setup, the very bar just before that, allowing you to catch that sharp fall as it unfolded. So a really good day for MTPredictor yesterday, and a particularly good example of our VS or volume spike setups that, as you can see, caught two very, very nice trades yesterday.